Hitoyoshi, your average nice guy living alone, gets a surprise visitor, a maid who wants to be his servant. Sounds like a dream, right? Wrong. This isn't your cute clumsy enemy maid. She's an assassin. She claims to have been sent by some distant relatives, aka total stranger, and her last job? Killing people. Hitoyoshi, being a normal person, tells her no thanks and sends her away, but when he runs after her to return an ornament she left behind, he nearly gets run over. The maid dives in to save him, and seeing how determined she is to serve him, he gives in and lets her stay. She's stunned by his kindness when he asks for her name, something no master has ever done before. She starts getting attached, especially to Tonkatsu sauce, sneaking out of bed to taste it. Meanwhile, Hitoyoshi wakes up from a nightmare and finds her in the kitchen. She listens to him, then offers him her lap to sleep on. And just like that, the assassin maid begins her new life. One morning, Hitoyoshi finds a tiny abandoned puppy outside his house with a note. The ever-suspicious assassin maid immediately goes into battle mode, her instant scream trap, as if the puppy might be an enemy spy. Hitoyoshi, being the cinnamon roll he is, refuses to leave it outside. Meanwhile, the maid keeps her distance like the pup is secretly packing heat. After they take it to the vet, Hitoyoshi learns that the pup is just teething. Despite her trained to kill programming, the assassin maid musters up the courage to feed the pup, and she slowly warms up to the idea of taking care of something rather than eliminating it. Hitoyoshi names him Agemochitaro because he looks like Mochi. I'm just going to call him Mochi. That night, the maid drops an unexpected request. She wants a name too. Hitoyoshi names her Yuki based on her estimated birthday on a snowy day. She cherishes it, realizing that for the first time in her life, she has an identity beyond just being an assassin. Hitoyoshi's little sister, Liko, barges in uninvited and immediately freezes at the sight of Yuki. Turns out she has a thing for beautiful people, and Yuki is prime specimen material. Liko grills her like a science experiment and even demands a live demonstration of her assassination skills. Later, the trio heads to a fireworks festival. Yuki, experiencing this as a civilian for the first time, tries different food stalls and discovers a new sauce obsession. But when the fireworks start, old memories resurface, reminding her of the darkness in her past. On their way home, a thief nearly runs them over. Yuki effortlessly stops him but lets him go at Hitoyoshi's request. And just when Hitoyoshi thinks life is settling down, Yuki pulls the ultimate power move. She enrolls in his school. She even takes his last name when giving an introduction in class. Girl literally skipped the dating phase and went straight to wife mode. Hitoyoshi finally pieces it together. Riko is behind Yuki's surprise school enrollment. He scolds her reckless ideas but then realizes it might actually help Yuki blend in as a normal girl. At school, Yuki witnesses the chaotic rush for katsuta bread, the most prized treasure in the school store. Learning that Hitoyoshi loves it, she goes full parkour mode, flipping over desks and dodging obstacles just to secure one precious bread. They end up sharing it, making the moment way too romantic for just a bread. Later, Liko invites her over for a sleepover. She casually ships her brother and Yuki, straight up saying they should get married. Things get worse when his sleep deprivation catches up in class. The teacher, in true anime fashion, chucks a chalk at him, but Yuki slices it mid-air, only for the chalk dust to go straight into his eyes. When he visits the school infirmary, he's met with Nita, a very flirtatious temporary health teacher. Yuki, sensing danger, immediately intervenes and warns Nita to stay away. Turns out Nita is in the same profession as Yuki. She's an assassin. Her real name is Grace. She's out for revenge, blaming Yuki for ruining her lavish girl life. A little dramatic she is. Sensing trouble, Yuki goes into full bodyguard mode, even sleeping beside Hitoyoshi to protect him. But just when she lets her guard down, bam, Grace shows up and kidnaps Hitoyoshi. Her message? Meet me at school at 2 a.m. At school, Grace reveals the truth. Yuki wasn't just an assassin. She was the assassin, a top-tier killer from the infamous Dragon's 9, known as White Wolf Xue. But Yuki, unfazed, she walks straight into her genius trap and flips the entire situation on its head. Yuki effortlessly defeats Grace, but instead of killing her, she lets her live. Feeling guilty for dragging Hitoyoshi into her past, she offers to leave, but Hitoyoshi stops her. Instead of running, he makes a bold request: "Train me." Grace tries to negotiate the ultimate peace treaty. She will stay out of Yuki's business if they keep her out of theirs. Her bribe? a 3-month supply of Katsuta bread. Hitoyoshi and Yuki agree because priorities. But Grace just can't stay away and Yuki isn't thrilled. Feeling alienated, she nearly targets Grace before realizing she's experiencing something new, jealousy. Later, a new wholesome detour melts her icy heart when she meets the woman behind her favorite sauce. She may be a trained assassin, but this moment, pure happiness. That night, Hitoyoshi's curiosity about Yuki's past gets the best of him. He looks up the Dragon's Nine but falls asleep, haunted by a dream of his mother leaving him. Yuki wakes him up, finding his search history. Instead of getting mad, she finally opens up. She barely knew anything about the organization, just her missions. But now, for the first time, she's happy just being with him. Hitoyoshi, clearly catching feelings, admits he's never felt this warmth before. Sounds a little sus, but hey, we are rolling with it. While out shopping, someone tells Yuki real people don't dress like a combat-ready maid. Hitoyoshi, Riko, and Grace drag Yuki on a shopping spree to pick out casual clothes. They hit the cinema for a zombie movie, where Yuki casually drops that she's scared of zombies. As they head home, something feels off. A shadowy figure is watching them. Then thunder strikes, darkness falls, and Yuki panics. In a total rational move, she mistakes Mochi's towel for a zombie and slices it apart. Back home, Hitoyoshi notices Yuki's back in her maid outfit. Why not wear the new clothes? Yuki reviews that her uniform is the only thing connecting her to her lost master. And her ornament, that's the last piece of her younger sister. So yeah, Yuki might be embracing this normal life, but she's got some serious baggage. With the Katsuta festival approaching, people are hoarding tonkatsu sauce like it's gold. Now that the tonkatsu sauce shelves are completely empty, Yuki is devastated and clings to her last bits of sauce until tragedy strikes. She spills it. The grief is so intense, she starts having Katsuta sauce related nightmares. 3 nights in a row. This is not a drill. On the 3rd night, she sneaks into Hitoyoshi's room, claiming sauce withdrawal is ruining her sleep. Hitoyoshi tries to be a gentleman, gives up his own bed, but after a late night chat, she eventually returns to her own room. However, the real nightmare hits that night. Yuki dreams of her parents' murder and her revenge, only for her sister to throw away her ornament and says she hates her. Hitoyoshi wakes her up, and with the MC's signature "everything is fine, believe in yourself" pep talk, he helps her calm down. The next day, she's on a mission. Yuki learns that winning the Katsuta festival is the only way to secure the sauce. Determined, she gears up, only to bump into Naka, a mysterious stalker who claims to know how to win the festival. The Katsuta festival kicks off with a cops and robbers game, and Naka is determined to win, not just for the prize, but to finally beat her perfectionist and sitcom brother, Take. As the game progresses, Naka and Yuki bond, and for the first time, Naka asks Yuki to be her friend. Yuki, without hesitation, accepts. The student council president, aka cop, and Naka's sitcom brother, Take, hunts down every thief, leaving only Naka and Yuki standing. Take, desperate to win, accidentally eliminates Naka while targeting Yuki. Now it's assassin versus perfectionist. Take accuses Yuki of manipulating Naka, but Yuki proves their friendship is real. However, in the middle of her wholesome anime friendship moment, Yuki lets her guard down and gets eliminated. With that, cop wins the game, but Yuki secures something more important, a true friend, which is Naka, and maybe some Katsuta sauce. While hanging out, Grace drops a bombshell. She's heading to China for her work and will also search for Yuki's lost sister. She asks if Yuki has any old contacts there, but Yuki, realizing her home is now with Hitoyoshi, says no. Meanwhile, Hitoyoshi gets a call from his father and is visibly shaken for days. To cheer him up, Yuki surprises him with a Christmas outing, calling it a date. Hitoyoshi blushes, but Yuki admits it was Riko's idea. The next day, Riko pulls out a love test, making both Yuki and Hitoyoshi takes it separately. They score nearly perfect, meaning they're a perfect match. Awkward. But later, Riko exposes Hitoyoshi's embarrassing childhood stories. Desperate, he kicks under the kotatsu, only to realize he's kicking Yuki instead. Instant regret and a very flustered Hitoyoshi. Hitoyoshi remembers his first rejection from a girl he used to play with, leaving him unsure about love. But when he looks at Yuki, something feels different. One morning, he wakes up to find Yuki sleeping beside him, and he quickly jumps out of his bed. Later, she soaks herself while cleaning, and Hitoyoshi, too embarrassed, starts avoiding her. This backfires. Every little mistakes make Yuki tear up. On New Year's Eve, Riko arrives for the shrine visit, but Yuki turns her away, blaming her eye issues, aka she's crying. She still meets Naka, admitting she feels Hitoyoshi pulling away. Naka reassures her and they make a wish together. Yuki silently praying nothing changes between her and Hitoyoshi. Meanwhile, Hitoyoshi's father lands at the airport, calling him, and Hitoyoshi ignores it. After the shrine visit, Naka helps Yuki pick a present for Hitoyoshi. While trying to win find an action figure, a stranger helps her out. Unbeknownst to her, it's Hitayoshi's father. At home, Liko tells Hitoyoshi that their father is coming to visit. Hitoyoshi panics, worrying about Yuki's situation, but ultimately decides to protect her no matter what. Arata, Hitoyoshi's dad, arrives and quickly bonds with Yuki, recognizing her past. Seeing them talk so casually, Hitoyoshi feels left out again. But as he watches, he realizes he's the only one who never tried to understand his father. Mustering up his courage, he asks his dad if Yuki can stay. His dad simply says, "Do what you want." A couple minutes after Arata leaves, he calls back, not for Hitoyoshi, but for Yuki. He tells her Hitoyoshi's changing because of you, so take care of him. That night, Hitoyoshi finally admits his feelings, and so does Yuki. While he thinks her love is admiration and nothing more, Yuki starts to develop real feelings for him.